Christianity began when Jesus died on the cross at 1 AD. When Jesus died on the cross, he got resurrected. Christianity's sacred texts are the Holy Bible, which have sacred messages from God. The Ten Commandments are the basic principles of worship. Some sacred symbols are a fish and a holy cross. One of their sacred sites are a church where they worship the God. Christians believe in Jesus dying on the cross and getting resurrected. Christians have to follow rules of the Bible and the Ten Commandments. If you're a Christian, you should not worship no other God. If you do, in Christianity, if you do worship another God, you will go to hell. Also, you must not sin, because on Judgment Day you will be judged or be sent to hell. That's it.
Confucianism, beginnings and origin. Confucianism was created towards the end of the Zhou dynasty by a man named Confucius. He taught and preached already ancient texts to his students. Confucianism is a philosophy of respect for the past, especially traditions. Confucius thought that the government should rule like parents. Many Chinese rulers took up his ideology. He also taught from the Book of Documents, the Book of Odes, and the Book of Changes. Sacred texts. The 4 books called Shishu make up the foundation of Confucianism. These books teach about self-cultivation and principles of understanding the world. Sacred symbols. Confucianism does not have a definitive symbol, but the Chinese character for water is commonly used to represent Confucianism because the water is believed to represent life. Sacred site. One sacred site is the Temple of Confucius. It is located in Qufu, Shandong Province in China. Worships and beliefs. Confucianists believe in the moral uprightness, social order, and filial responsibility. Filial responsibility basically means that the adult children are responsible for taking care of their elderly or incapable parents. Belief in moral uprightness means that you should be honest, honorable, and have integrity. Legalism, beginnings and origin. Legalism is a Chinese philosophy that peaked around 475 to 207 BCE. It was founded by 3 Chinese philosophers, Shang Yang, Lai Sai, and Han Fezi. Sacred texts. The Book of Shang and the Legalist Doctrine are some of the sacred texts of legalism. But overall, the government law was the most followed text of legalism. The Book of Shang was considered the foundational work of legalism. Sacred symbols. For legalism, there are no sacred symbols that definitively represent it. Sacred site. There are no sacred or holy sites either, but one important location is the Great Wall of China. It represents the rule of law and was built under the rule of Shish Huang Sai. Worships and beliefs. The main belief of legalism is that humans are selfish and bad. Therefore, humans must constantly work on improving themselves. Organized central rule and harsh penalties for law-breaking individuals are also basic practices of legalism.
Taoism. Just like Confucianism and legalism, Taoism also has a collection or a set of philosophical texts that build the foundation of the religion. One of the key texts is a book called Tao Te Ching, which teaches about how to live life of goodness and integrity. The symbol of Taoism is a yin-yang you have probably seen before in paintings, jewelry, or in books. It represents the way of nature. Both sides of yin-yang have different meanings. Yin represents shadows and yang represents the light, passion, and growth. Taoism has multiple sacred places. One of the more popular places are the Wudang Mountains in the northwestern part of Hebei, China. The mountains hold a complex of temples and monasteries. The Basic beliefs of Taoism teaches a philosophy of universal harmony, simplicity, patience, social well-being, and physical and mental health. Selflessness is a major teaching in Taoism. Action.
Beginnings and origin. Islam was created somewhere around the 7th century CE. The religion of Islam is believed to have originated in Mecca. It was created by a man named Muhammad. Muhammad heard the Lord speak to him through Gabriel. He began publicly preaching Islam in Mecca. Islam eventually found its way to the merchant trade, which helped it spread throughout the Middle East. Sacred texts. The major book of Islam is the Quran. It is the holy book of Islam. Muslims believe it to be the sacred word of God. It consists of 114 units known as surahs. They go over all aspects of life and how to live it. It is written in Quranic Arabic. Sacred symbols. The symbol of Islam is a star and crescent. It is also the symbol of the Ottoman Empire. It also stands as a symbol for Western Orientalism. The moon represents the seasons, fasting, feasting, and it also governs the Islamic calendar. The 5 points of the star represent the 5 pillars of Islam and the essential elements of Muslim faith. Sacred site. The sacred site of Islam is Mecca, specifically the Kaaba. The Kaaba is built in the center of the great mosque of Mecca. When Muslims are praying, no matter where they are in the world, they must face towards the Kaaba. One of the 5 pillars of Islam is Hajj. This requires every Muslim who can to make a pilgrimage to Mecca, walk around the Kaaba 7 times, fast, and pray. It is believed that Abraham and his son built the Kaaba around 2000 BCE. Worships and beliefs. Muslims believe in the 5 pillars of Islam. A mosque is the most popular and common place of worship for Muslims. Muslims pray 5 times a day, each time facing the Kaaba. One Islamic holiday is Al-Haraja. It celebrates the end of Muhammad's journey from Mecca to Medina.
Beginnings and origin. Hinduism started somewhere between 1300 BCE in the Indus Valley near modern-day Pakistan. Secret text. Hindu secret text, the Vedas. The Veda or books of knowledge are the forest secret texts in Hinduism. Their book written around 1000 BCE to 100 BCE. Secret symbol. Or is the secret symbol that represents universe. The ultimate reality, Brahman, is preferred and associated to all being mantras and prayers. Is often said to represent God in the 3 aspects of Brahman. Secret site. In Hindu religion and spirituality, the pilgrim has great significance. Members of the faith participate in the following types of pilgrim. The pilgrim to sacred site has its own religion significance. Worships and beliefs. Hindus make offerings to Amori. Amori is a secret statue of God or goddesses. The Hindu build for common worship is called Mandir, Hindu temple. The temples are dedicated to different gods and are the focus of religion's life. Some of their beliefs are true and eternal, Brahman in true and reality. The Vedas are the ultimate authority. Everyone should strive to achieve Dharma. Individual souls are immortal. The goal of individual soul is moksha.
The beginnings and origin. Buddhism was founded in India by Siddhartha Gautama during the 6th century. The main beliefs were to follow the Buddha's way to escape your suffering. Buddhism was written out and read all throughout India and later on in Asia. Some sacred texts would be the Pali Canon, which was the sacred text of Buddhism. It was about the ways of the Buddha and how to follow them. A famous quote from the Buddha would be, "The mind, when untamed, unguarded, and unprotected, leads to great harm." The Buddha said this when he was writing the Pali Canon. A sacred symbol would be the golden Dharma. The Buddha, there's many statues of Buddha all throughout Asia and India, but one of the most famous ones would be the Hussein Shagar. That is a sacred site of Buddhism. It is located in India. It is sacred because many people visit that statue and they pray for their loved ones and worship in that area. Worships and beliefs of Buddhism would be people who follow the Buddha follow 4 rules known as the Noble Truths. Important holidays and events are when there's a full moon or a new moon, or the main Buddha festival of the year is the Vasaka, the celebration of the Buddha's birth and enlightenment, and death.
The beginning origins of Judaism is that it's an establishment between God and Abraham in 1812 BC. The prophet Moses gave Judaism to the Jews. The sacred text is Judaism primarily is a document of Torah, also known as the Jewish law. Tanakh is the Jewish Bible known in Hebrew. The 3 sets of books that comprise it is Pentateuch, or Torah, as you said, the prophets of Levi, and the writings Ketuvim. The sacred symbol is the Star of David. In the sacred site there are 5 holy sites in Judaism. Temple Mount is the holiest site to where the Jews turn to pray. Jews didn't walk on the mountain itself because they didn't want to enter where the holiest stood. The Western Wall, which was assembled by Herod the Great, enlarged the second Jewish temple in Jerusalem, Rachel's tomb, biblical Mount Sinai, and Mount of Olives was also sacred sites. Jews didn't walk on the mountain itself because they don't want to enter where the holiest stood. A worship and belief for Judaism is that there are 3 main beliefs of Judaism. Monotheism, to identify and covenant love of God, are most important. They believe that their Messiah has not yet come, but he will come. Judaism means living the faith, and they want to bring the holiness to everything they do. This is an act that praises God. The importance of Judaism is that they believe that there's one God, and they want people to have a compassion.